Being a lifelong Austinite, there's a lot of little things about the city that we just grew up with, and I want to share with a lot of new people here who may not be familiar. Hi, I'm Barry Wheeler with Hometown, Texas. One of the things you may see are Balcones, Balcones Woods, Balcones Drive, Balcones, and that's in reference to a major fault line called the Balcones Fault Line. And this major fault line scars all throughout Texas, and it actually follows from Laredo through San Antonio, past Austin, all the way up to Waco. This fault line was the shift that dropped, and this fault line is the shift created an east side and west side. You'll see I-35 actually drives a shift. You'll see this shift in the land between the west and east. The interstate I-35 actually follows the Balcones fault line. You'll see to the west of the I-35 is the hill country, and to the east of I-35, coastal wetlands. I-35 actually follows Balcones fault line. And you'll actually see this where the west side of I-35 is in the hill country, and to the east side of I-35 are the coastal prairies. And this basically, when the settlers were coming westbound, they would come across the coastal prairies, hit the Balcones fault line, hit into the hill country, and settle, because it became much more difficult to cross over the hill country. This became an excellent place to live. One, we have a wonderful water sources, but really they had the best of both worlds. They have, one, the coastal prairies that they're able to farm and raise cattle on. And then they had the hill country where they had the wild game, be it the deer, so they could have both protein for the wild game and raise. The Balcones fault line actually was kind of the reason why the settlers stopped where they did. They were coming westbound across the coastal prairies, and when they hit the Balcones fault and they hit the hills, they stopped. It became very difficult to travel through the hill country. And then they also found that it was the best of both worlds. The coastal prairies that they were able to farm cattle, and then in the hill country they had the wild game, the deer, that they could also hunt. So it was the best of both sides, and that's why you see all the major cities along that line. If you actually drive down in downtown Austin, Texas, and you go up and down Lamar Road, if you're going Lamar Boulevard, basically about 5th Street, 12th Street, right around that area, you can actually see the fault line. If you're driving on Lamar Boulevard and you're near downtown, when you go from 5th Street up to 12th Street and 15th Street, you'll actually physically see the Lamar's down, and you'll look up and you'll see a cliff. And that's actually very much the fault line right there. The reason why it's up and the other side's down is because that's where the fault dropped. So I just want to share some more of this Austin insight for all of our new Austinites.